Bokken training is a very important part of Aikido training. The very first thing that we have to understand is that the Bokken is not just a wood stick, but represents a Japanese sword, represents the samurai sword. So we should treat Bokken just like a real sword. And because the Bokken is an essential tool for our training, because it's an essential tool for our development in Aikido, we always should take care of it, and we always should treat it with utmost respect. This is a spiritual tool, this is a symbol of the warrior, and the Bokken as a sword represents hundreds of years of deep tradition of the warrior. When you're holding a Bokken, please hold as real sword. This is the edge is up. Don't rest on the Bokken like this. Okay? Don't leave the Bokken on the mat. Okay? Don't just throw it down like a piece of junk. Okay? You should have a rack for your Bokken. You should always put it in a special place where nobody will step on it. No one should step over it. No one should touch it. When you go home from practice, you should put it in a proper sword case and take it home. Keep it nice. Don't use it for anything else but Bokken training. I see some people trying to use it as a hammer, use it shovel, use it as a poker, use it scratching the back. This is all inappropriate. Okay? This is a sword. Okay? If you can't treat it as a sword, you'll never understand what it means in your training. So first thing, always hold right hand. Before you use the Bokken, face shomen. Hold with the handle towards the right. Bring the Bokken up in a sign of respect, then slightly bow your head. Lift up, down, hold. If I'm facing front to your partner, hold. Slightly raise the Bokken as a sign of respect. Bow your head, up, down, hold. There's a lot of tradition and a lot of etiquette behind the Bokken, but this is the most simple and the most basic. And if you observe this, I think you'll be fine in any Aikido school. Next, drawing and holding the Bokken. Don't swing the Bokken like a bat. Don't use it like a toy. Don't use it as a stick. But always think of it as a sword. Okay? At another opportunity, we may be able to discuss how to use a real sword, but right now we'll try to keep it as simple as possible. When you draw, sword is in your left hand, catch, up, step, and go into your kamae stance. Okay? Don't just bring it down and come up like this. Okay? Reach, and you're ready. Kamae stance. And when you put away, so put away. Draw, stance. The proper grip is that if you hold it straight out, there should be about the length of one fist in between both hands. Of course, right hand's forward, left hand grips bottom. Small finger covers the end of the Bokken. And hold down. About 1 fist and a half between yourself and the end of the Bokken. And sword points to your opponent's throat. Tip shouldn't drop like this. Okay? Not too high is no good. Too much side like this. Too much side like this. Natural grip. Some of the problems with gripping is people have a tendency to hold too much to the side. This is not good. At the same time, don't be too stiff. Okay? But don't be too loose. Straight, down. And some people raise their shoulders. Keep your shoulders down. And don't squeeze your chest. Keep your chest open. The chest is open, shoulders down, facing your opponent in a stable, relaxed, balanced, but strong, firm posture. Okay? Should not be loose, but at the same time not too stiff. Okay? There's many postures or kamae in sword. We call seigan no kamae or chudan no kamae, which means a middle level stance. The other stances we don't use often in swordsmanship, but we should know them. This is jodan no kamae, upper stance. Chudan no kamae, level stance. Gedan no kamae, lower stance. This is wakikamae. This is hasso. Always come back to this stance. In training, we use this stance the most. Okay? Drawing. Now when you're standing against your opponent, the kisaki, or tip of the sword, should be about this far from each other. Okay? This is too separated, where they don't reach. This is too close. This way is too uneven. Always tip to tip, with about 1 inch or 2 inches there, about right here, like this. Okay? Not like this. Not like this. About here. Okay? Then, if I come forward, he has to keep this spacing. If he comes forward, I have to keep this spacing. If he steps forward, I can't let him enter into my space, but always maintain this relationship. He steps back, I have to come forward. If he steps forward, I have to go back. If he goes to the side, go to the side. It's like this. Okay? If he goes the other side, like this. Okay? So as you're moving, if he's coming forward, don't let this come forward this way. If he's going back, don't let's separate. Always stay with him. Now, basic attack. First basic attack is shoumeng, or his head. Strike. Then strike his wrist. Kote. When you strike, make sure that your blow reaches the target. Don't strike like this. Too short. Okay? Too close. No good. Strike here. If your blow is short, in actual cutting, this will not reach. This won't cut. Just cut shallow. At the same time, when you cut too short, there's a possibility the blade may come into his face or poke his eye. This is very dangerous. It's not an effective attack. It's also dangerous for training. Make full cut. Full cut. Make full cut. And tsuki, throat. Okay, tsuki, throat. This. Suburi training is almost essential for practicing Aikiken or Aikido sword movement. This is also one kind of practice that you can do at home outside of the dojo. There are many methods of Suburi training, and I think they differ slightly from one teacher to the next. It's important to make a strong, clean cut. Don't lose your balance, don't lose your posture. And what I find difficult for most students when they first begin Suburi training, that it's very difficult to coordinate the movement of the sword and the movement of the feet. In swordsmanship, they have a saying, one technique per one step. So this indicates the importance of the footwork in relation to the timing and movement of the sword. You can perfect this in Suburi training. It's important in Suburi training not to put the power in your shoulders and arms, but to keep your shoulders relaxed and your arms flexible and naturally tensed to make a straight, clean, strong cut with the sword. When doing Suburi training with a real sword, one immediately notices that there are many differences between the real sword and the wooden sword. When using the real sword, it's important to bring that feeling back into wooden sword training. One more time. Thrust. Catch. Cut. Cut his wrist. Idimi move the other side. Inside. And cut. Tsuki. Inside. Deflect. Side or thrust. Next, basic kumitachi, going very slowly. Cut. Okay, going regular speed. One more time. Okay, this time he cuts. Regular speed. One more time.